What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another Westies Angling. Today we're going to be doing a setup and review of my new Avid EXO Bivvy. Right folks, let's get into it. So you might be wondering why I've chosen to upgrade my bivvy. Well, the old Daiwa Turtle was on its way out, the joins were starting to come apart and it was just on its last legs. It might have lasted me another season if I was lucky. But the other reason is it was really hard to get it set up and put it away as well. The bag was really tight, it was a fight to get it back together every single time and it took an age to get it set up. And to be honest with you, it was putting me off doing quick 24-hour sessions, and that's something that I want to do more of on the channel in 2025. So I've decided to upgrade to the Avid EXO Bivvy after many recommendations for people and because of just how many features this bivvy's got for the price. Now, if you're following the channel, you'll know that I'm an absolute tight ass and I hate parting with any money whatsoever, but there's so much value to this bivvy, as you're going to see in this video. But we're going to get it set up. I'm going to show you the full setup process and also how quick it is to put down and back in the bag, because that's something that the manufacturer videos never show you, just how quick it is to set up and put away. But to be honest with you, it's one of the main selling points of this bivvy and one of the reasons that I've gone for it. Before I talk you through some of the features and we get into the setup of the bivvy, I just want to say as well, I've not got a professional camera crew. What I've got is Papa West behind the camera there doing the best that he can. So if the filming's a bit shaky, you'll have to forgive me, and we've done our best because it's a really bright day. So it's not the best filming conditions, but I think this is just about the only dry day that we've had since I bought this bivvy on Black Friday. I've been wanting to do this review ever since then. So I'm going to talk you through the features and the reasons why I've bought this bivvy. But before we start that, I just want to tell you what you actually get in the set, because you get a fair amount. So you get a full set of ultra sharp black coated stainless pegs. You get an oversized bivvy bag. Now, I don't know whether you feel the same way as this, but I hate fighting with a bivvy bag trying to get it packed away. That's one of the worst things that manufacturers do when they're making a bivvy, is making a bag too small. Yes, I know it's a compromise between getting all your gear in and having stuff compact, but sometimes you just need a bit of space. And one of the selling features of this bivvy is that everything is included in the bag. So as I've said to you, you get your pegs, you get the ground sheet in with it, you get the mosquito net on the inside, and also you get the vapor peak or skull cap. Now, as an extra, you can buy a PVC front door for it as well, if you're like me and you wanted to see your rod pod, see your bite alarms, see your bobbins while you're fishing or while you lie down in your bivvy bed. So that's something that I've purchased for an extra 50 quid. So I got this bivvy in the sale on Black Friday at 450 quid, and that was down from 499. So I think at the time of filming, it's gone back up. So that's what I've bought it for. So it was 500 quid with the PVC front door. Obviously, I'm not sponsored or anything like that, so you're going to get an unbiased setup and review, and if I see any faults with it, I'm going to tell you about them. So without further ado, folks, let's get into the setup. I better limber up for this. I feel like I'm about to start an Olympic sport. Don't forget, this is only the second time that I've set this bivvy up, so I'm feeling the pressure, I'm not going to lie. Hopefully I don't make myself look like an absolute idiot, but one of the main things about a bivvy is how quick you can set it up and put it down. And don't forget, this is one of the main reasons that I've chosen the EXO Plus, is how quick you can put it up, and not only that, but how quick you can get it packed away as well. And one of the main things is, obviously, your big oversized bag here, so when we're packing it away, it's going to be nice and easy. You can literally just throw it in the bag. Right, let's see how quick I can get it set up. I've already got the ground sheet down, I've got it positioned, I've got the storm poles out the bag, and I've got the bivvy ready. So let's get it up. Let's get the front round this way. Get behind it. So I'm opening it up here until it clicks. Then I'm going to get these front poles, trying to do this so you can see it. They go in the slots, so nice and easy. Just make sure that's all in position. I'm happy with that. Then we've got to see where the back measures up. Looks like it's in the right place there. And then we start clicking the legs in, which is really easy. You've got these drop down snap-in tabs. So we'll do one of them at a time. 1, 2. Now, Avid market these tabs as pretty much indestructible, but this is me we're talking about. And don't forget, I'm rushing as well. One last one. Let's lay that out on the ground sheet. We're looking okay there. The storm poles, very simply, slot into position and then lock down with a plastic tab. And you've got another plastic tab to adjust the length of the storm pole. You can have that out to the side if you wanted a bit more space, or if you wanted the bivvy propped up a little bit more, you can have them at the front there. One of the good things about this bivvy is you can really tension it out. And what I mean by that is, if you're in really bad stormy weather and you want the water run off, or you want this to be very windproof, you can undo these tabs here on the top of the bivvy and pull them out to tension it, and then lock them back into position. If we look at the top of these arms here, it's got a slot in, and that's where the skull cap slots into and straps onto, and also goes into the front here of where we tensioned it out. So I'm going to put the skull cap on now so you can see it. And don't forget folks, the skull cap isn't extra, it comes with the set. Should be nice and easy to put in. If we do the front first, obviously this just protects you and it gives you a bit of an extra peak from the rain. And again, we can tension that out if we need to, but let's just release the pressure off that with the connectors. So pressure's off that, and it's going to allow me to get this nice and neat. That's on nice and tight. So both the front of the bivvy and also the skull cap here have this thickened section at the front, which just gives it a little bit more rigidity. So that's that. I'm going to tension them out again with the extensions. That's nice and secure and it looks spot on. That's really roomy. You'll get a huge bed chair in there. I'll be able to get all my camera equipment, my tackle, my bait boat, everything in this ample size bivvy. They've marketed this bivvy as a 1.5 man bivvy. So it's not quite as big as a 2-man, but it's not as small as a 1-man. So you've got loads of space in here for longer sessions as well. Or if you're a YouTuber like me, all your camera equipment and rubbish that you have to bring with you on your sessions to film. There's a couple of things that I want to show you here, folks. One is the seams on the bivvy. So where water could potentially get in, everything's double seamed. And also it's got overlapping material. So all the zips are covered, and it's completely watertight in that respect. Now, all the zips have got these really robust rubber grips on, which I think are absolutely brilliant. The windows zip up from the outside, so if it was hot weather, you could obviously fold these up out the way, which reveals this mosquito net lining, and it's got a nice little camo coloration to it as well. I think that looks really smart, especially when they're all up, so you can get a good breeze blowing through the bivvy side to side and front to back, because this bivvy has got 4 of those windows. It's got 1 in either side and it's got 2 in the back. You've got a panel there that can unzip like on the side, and you've got a panel there as well on both sides of the bivvy. That's the bivvy pretty much set up. Now, I'm not going to put all the pegs in and stuff like that just for demonstration purposes, but what I am going to show you is all 3 of the doors that I've got for this bivvy. Don't forget, the clear PVC door I've purchased as an extra, so I'll put a link to that in the description for you if you see the value in it. I don't think it's going to be something for everybody, but I like to be able to see my bobbins and bite alarms while I'm lied down in my bed chair. That's something that I like to do, and usually what I do is I leave my bivvy door open, but obviously you're going to get cold. It lets the rats in and the wildlife, which can be an absolute pain, so I don't necessarily like doing that, but I've had to do that. Let's see how the interior mosquito net looks and the other 2 doors. You can only have 1 door on at once, so it's not double walled, so you can't have the mozzie net on the inside and then your door on the outside. It's just either or, but I mean, you only need 1 on at a time anyway, really, don't you? And then we're going to see how easy these are to interchange, because with Avid doing multiple doors for the bivvy, it's obviously designed to be a modular system. Now, the door that I've bought with it, the PVC one, looks like it only goes on one side, so let's figure that out and see how it works. And yes, of course, folks, I could have read the instructions, but where's the fun in that? So that's going to keep the mosquitoes out. The doors are on with a zip as well, so I could put the PVC door on here on the inside with the mozzie net, but I don't think you'd ever use that, would you? Because you would just have that on in summer and you can see through this mesh at your bite alarms anyway. So many zips on this thing. I'm getting lost. This bivvy's full of cool little design features that I really like. There's some that are questionable and some that I think there's a real benefit to. One of them is the fact that the main door is staggered back away from this outside lining. So you can pin this down and then you get quite a bit of rain runoff clearance there away from the main inside door of the bivvy, which I think is brilliant. But that's it with the mosquito net on. I'm going to swap this out for the main door and we'll see how it looks with that on, because let's face it, in the UK it's the main door that we're going to have on most of the time anyway, with the rain and the crap weather that we get. So let's swap this out for the main door and see how it looks. A little bit fiddly at first, folks, but once you get used to this, it's actually not bad at all, and you're not going to be swapping them all the time. The bag's big enough that this will all fold away together. You don't need to take these off really to fold it away. Let's get out of there for the final bit. So the way the front door's laid out is it's got an exterior and an interior. The exterior's got a zip on and the interior's got a zip on, but it also zips up and down through the middle as well. So you can peg this exterior in so that it's watertight and rain runs off the front. It's got a couple of different pegging areas. So let's peg this in so it's nice and secure, and that'll tension all that out. Then we have this interior zip, which again is storm sealed, and this middle section here is where your PVC door zips onto. So this is probably the part that I'm most excited about, because I think this is a cracking feature. I know, like I said, it's not going to be for everybody. Not everybody's going to want this. I think some people like the privacy in the bivvy, but I'm not bothered about that. Let's get it on. That's that. The way all of the zips work on both sides of the door is the double zipped like this. So you put the zip through all the way into the bottom one, and then you can feel it click and secure, and then the top zip is what you actually move. Depending on which side you've got your bivvy or which side you've got your rods, obviously you can unzip it from that side. But there we go. I'm impressed with that. Yeah, you're right, Dad, it is creased. But I think once you get a bit of sun on it, a bit of heat on it, but is it worth 50 quid? That's the question. I think it is. I think it's nice to look out and watch the lake. What better way is there of bringing this setup and review video of the Avid EXO Plus Bivvy to a close than showing you just how easy it packs away. We've all been there, folks. We've all tried to get our bivvy down as quick as possible between rain showers, and it's probably one of the biggest tests of a bivvy. Not how quick you can set it up, how quick you can pack it away. So the skull cap comes off nice and easy. Just throw that in the bag along with the storm poles. There's a special section in the bag for those. And then we want to pull out the tensioning bars from the central mechanism. Lever comes up and then you fold the entire bivvy down on itself. Really simple. Legs out of the locking mechanisms, working your way around. And this literally couldn't be easier, folks. Really quick job. I think the whole thing came down in less than probably 3 minutes. It is that fast. Then obviously you've got your oversized bag, so this just slips in. So if you was to put a gun to my head and ask me, Westy, did you find any faults with the bivvy? I would be hard pressed to pick out any negatives, to be quite honest with you. But one of them would be that the compartment for the ground sheet is super tight and it is very heavy. But that is only because of how robust this bivvy is and well made. I think it'll stand up to the test of time. But if you want to see how I get on with this bivvy on the bank, make sure you hit that subscribe button and we'll put it to the test out on a few sessions. So I just want to say thanks very much for watching this review and setup, and I will see you in the next Westy's Angling.